I don't know who needs to hear this, but hey, you wake up, wake up. You are holding yourself back. You don't know how much potential you have, but you're holding yourself back. It's not even anybody who is holding you, but yourself. You are becoming your own obstacle. Those are the words that I had recently, and I was really challenged to just wake up and see what God has for me, because most of the times we are always like, for me, I found myself complaining. You feel like things are not going the way you want them to, but then in retrospect, when you look at it, I realized that it was my fault. Someone challenged me that at times we ourselves are our greatest enemy to our progress, and actually it made a lot of sense. There's so much potential that God has put in each and every one of us. For me, one of the things that I've been struggling to keep up with is actually YouTube. Consistency. And then we are like, oh, the channel is not growing as much as we want. But it's because you are not consistent. You don't take it seriously. So someone reminded me another time that a while back, I was very consistent on Facebook. I used to write, and under the hashtag Helen Writes. Nowadays, I no longer do it. Like, I think I sort of lost focus when I started doing YouTube. But you know what? When I was moving to YouTube, I just wanted to do a continuation of what I was writing there, because I used to be so happy when you write and then someone is asking, what happened to Helen Writes? You haven't written in a few days. And we come here to get encouraged and all that, because in a world full of negativity, we need a few people who can show us that we can be positive, someone who can show us the positivity in life or how to go about it. So I used to really post consistently until I got to some point and I slowed down, eventually almost stopped. So I've now been on this side of YouTube. I started again and I'm still not very consistent. And sometimes God asks us what we have in our hands. He's given us the tools to do what we are intended to do, but we're always complaining. Let me tell you a story. How we hold ourselves back. You remember, oh my God, that girl almost got hit by a motorbike. You remember the story of Moses in the Bible? Those guys who read the Bible, and even those who don't read, I can tell you this guy called Moses that God wanted to send to Egypt to rescue his people because they were in slavery. But then when Moses had all the potential, God had taken him through the training that he needed, though he didn't know it, having stayed in the palace in Egypt and all that. But the day God called him, Moses was like, oh God, I'm a stammerer. Oh God, I don't have what it takes. Just like it happens to most of us. You're always doubting and you think you don't have what it takes. What do you think it takes? It just takes what you have. Because God actually asked Moses, what do you have in your hand? Like literally, what are you holding? And Moses said, I just have a stick. The stick that I used to take care of the sheep. And you know what? That same stick is what God used. Like, he had so much potential in his hands. That's the same stick that God used to bless to help him now accomplish the mission that he had, which propelled him to so much. So for you, what is it that you have in hand? What is that you've been postponing? You've been procrastinating? What is that beautiful business idea that you've been thinking, oh, economy is bad, especially if you're in Kenya, ni kubaya sana. You don't want to try. Sometimes you have to just use what is in our hands, because as much as God will bless us, yes, but sometimes we need to take action and rise up and just use what he has blessed us with, like the ideas he has put in our heads, and we just don't want to execute. There's a post I wrote and I've just remembered it today. I was telling people, you will never know what is on the other side until you give it a shot, So if you're like a writer, you write, you hide your work because you don't think it's good enough. If you're doing content, you don't want to put it out there for people to see. If you're thinking of a business, you don't want to do it because you're thinking, oh, it will be a small time. Or even when you're introducing yourself to people and you have a small business, you're like, oh, make a small business. By the way, you shouldn't be like that. You should be proud of what you do, and then that is the same thing that God is going to use, because God cannot use a bare hand. He needs something to work with. So do not doubt yourself. Arise, wake up, stop being your own obstacle. And yeah, do not hold yourself back. Just start something. Whatever it is that you have in mind that you intend to start, just start it and see itaenda aje. If it fails, you will have tried, and then wake up, dust yourself. Until that day, you'll be able to identify exactly what God wants you to do, or what your purpose in life is, because you're always chasing things and you forget to chase our purpose. This moment, I just want you to ask yourself, what is it that God has put in my hand, or what is it that I can use? What is it that I have, I feel I can use to accomplish something that I've dreamt of? And let that fear that is holding you, because fear is one of the worst things that can hold you, and it makes you a slave actually. Because for me, you guys, if you watched another video I did on how I finally gained confidence to drive in the city. Do you know it took me over 10 years? And what was holding me back was just fear. Like, I'm afraid what will happen, what if, but what if not? Like, for me, I really love doing YouTube, but I've not been consistent. So it's like I don't take it seriously. And that is one thing that I'm challenging myself to at least start being consistent on YouTube, and then see what is on the other side. Yeah, so you just challenge yourself. Let us challenge ourselves. Let us rise up. Let us stop holding ourselves. Let us stop allowing fear to be an obstacle to our growth, and just see what is on the other side. Otherwise, thank you so much for watching. I was challenged, and I felt I should share with you those that we're challenged together. And even as I make an informed choice to transform my life, nowadays I am now starting, after I was challenged with that, and so many things have been popping up about the same thing. And now that has made me now more determined to take higher risks, to even when it comes to investing. Sometimes we just consume everything. You're not bothered. So those are the challenges that we challenge ourselves. Or if you want to try a new venture, nowadays I'm trying to not hold back, because I always hold back and calculate the risk and see. But we won't take stupid risks, but it's good to give it a shot. So let us rise up, let us arise, let us believe in ourselves, because we have so much potential and there's so much that we can accomplish. So wake up, do not let fear hold you back, and stop being your own enemy in terms of your progress by holding yourself back because you worry, oh, what will happen? Oh, do I have what it takes? Imagine you have what it takes. Everyone and every journey starts with one step. Have you tried to make that one step? Let us start with the one step, and then we see what is on the other side. Otherwise, thank you for watching. I hope you've been encouraged. Goodbye, and God bless you. See you on the next one.